Blessed afternoon, collective. You are beautiful and profound. Has anyone told you that today? Well, there you go. You deserve to be reminded. You're gorgeous. Just going with the flow. I am gonna pull some cards here. Yeah, don't really have much to say. It's just a lot of allowing and existing and being in the moment. That's it. Yeah. I am feeling guided. I had wanted to earlier pull some cards from my own energy, but that felt like it sort of resolved with the self-expression. I might do that later. Feeling like pulling on the divine masculine right now. Whether that is collective or runners, internal, external, it feels rather broad and vague. So we'll see what comes out. This is just a part of my allowing and going with the flow. Because what other choice is there, really? I have no control. That's pretty clear. 5 of Swords at the bottom of the deck. There's no shortcuts here. I feel like something is kind of seeing that, yeah, they made not a mistake, but there's only one way. There's only one way. There's really only one option, and that is to go all the way. 5 Swords crossed by 3 of Cups. There's communication here. It is opening up, but there's also that kind of third-party energy of realizing this ain't it. Yeah. 9 of Cups sandwiching there. It's kind of thinking too small, realizing that we've restricted ourselves, that we kind of put a limit on our own happiness and what that meant. Being satisfied with just a partial satisfaction, I guess. Yeah, it's just like the life that is, well, it's okay. It's fine. Yeah, we don't really get along. My partner and I, or whatever. I'm not really all that pleased with certain aspects, and I don't feel very free, but we make a lot of money. We go to all the dinner parties. It's fine. It's fine, basically. But the realization of that is making it less fine, and it's becoming clearer. There's something else. There's something more. It is that recognition of, if it's not a hell yes, then what am I doing really? Just that maybe there is more. And it's pushing us to walk away, to move towards this is the more. Queen of Pentacles, Empress energy, strong Empress energy, and it's soul nourishing. It's this feeling of, I have all the cups on the wall. I'm seeing that guy from the Rider-Waite who looks sometimes kind of smug, and it's like the cups are trophies. They're not really full of anything. It's just, look at all of these things that, I'm surrounded by things, and therefore I'm happy. There's a realization that's not satisfying at the soul level. That's short-sighted. It's instant gratification that fades very quickly. What's underneath? 9 Swords underneath the Queen of Pentacles. It doesn't feel good anymore. There's a growing realization that this is not it. It's not sustainable. It's kind of a feeling of like, well, usually when I feel bad, I just go buy something, or have several drinks, or I get myself a new car, a new toy, and that satisfies me enough to kind of forget about it. It's not working. There's a realization that that's not a sustainable cycle, and it's not actually satisfying at the soul level. Sorry, I got a lawnmower about to pass. It is what it is. Yeah, and then just underneath that, it's the thing that represents stability. It can be a marriage, can be a relationship, can be a job, can be a family, can just be a way of being. Marriage to a thought process, marriage to the thought process of, well, if I feel bad, I just go buy myself a new toy, or it'll go away. I just ignore it, I pretend it's not there, and then I forget, I kind of go back to being numb. That's not working anymore. It's, yeah, what's on top? The hangman, because the soul is awake. It knows the soul wants nurturing. The soul wants those cups to be filled, not just bolted to the wall and shined up and used to impress other people. The soul wants the cup that gets filled and spilled and is given freely and taken out, and you know, it's the love that isn't there to look pretty. It's there to be real. It's there to challenge you and help you expand and grow, and the love that you take out in the mud and you get dirty and all of those things, not the sterile version of it. It's not satisfying. There's a dissatisfaction. Yeah. Okay. So let's get into it. Pulling on the divine masculine energy right now, just in general. Why am I here? Why what's the gist of this, you know? I can feel that anxiety. There's a stabbing. It is just that realization of kind of, oh God, I gotta do a little bit of like something that you know you gotta do, but you keep forgetting to do. And when I say gotta, we don't have to do anything, but it is all about the path of least resistance. It's reminding me of like paying a bill, essentially, of like, really, if you just lean into it and line up your energy with paying that bill, and you decide, I have the money for this, I am glad to have the money for this, I'm glad to pay this bill. It's silly that it's, you know, my resisting it is creating more tension than just going and paying the bill, and then I did something that feels good and I can feel good about that. Like when I paid my the ticket that I got. But it's the build up to that of like, oh my God, I know I really want to do this thing because it's on my mind, and the path of least resistance would just be to flow with it and get it off of my mind, but I keep kind of putting it off. Judgment. Oh, I dropped a card. Okay, so there's two. Look at that. 9 Pentacles. Liberation. Yeah, freedom, big time. I mean, I know I am the one to liberate myself from this. It's time for it. It's time to take this action. There's communication aspected again, strongly. I'm not sure what kind. I'm not trying to foresee what kind of communication, but the internal communication has taken place. There's an awareness. That conversation internally has already happened. There's an awareness now that, okay, there's a next step. There's something else to do. I know I got this ticket. I could be angry about it, I could this, that, and whatever, I could just say, okay, you know what, it is what it is. I'm just holding myself in resistance, making myself miserable and uncomfortable by fighting against it, so why don't I just accept it and flow with it and go pay the ticket, and then take it off of my mind. It's done with, it's, you know, I'm liberated from that energy, and I'm the only one who can do it. I know that it's time for that as well. Okay, I will cut the cards and see what comes out the other side. I think I just accidentally, yeah, I did. I didn't do it on purpose, but liberation again. You know what? It is what it is. I don't pay attention to the order I'm doing things, but there's a purpose for that. There's a purpose for this being the message. It's time to get liberated. And just because it started to fall out, the Queen of Cups is on top. Yeah. There's a lot of emotion that wants to express. There's a strong desire for this. It's an awareness that it would feel good. It would feel better if I just did this, if I just flowed with the emotion and kind of just got it over with, got it off my chest. It's keeping this in. That's painful. That's making me go, oh God, I never did that thing. I never did it. I still didn't do it. I didn't express to the DF, to whatever is on my side. Every time it's getting more and more clear that there's only one way to resolve that, and it's by flowing. It's by letting it happen. It's by going, okay, you know what, this is what it is. Let me just let it be. And that's what I'm endeavoring to do. This is what it is. Today I feel a lot of sadness. I'm feeling a lot of things. I'm sure I will continue feeling a lot of things. It is what it is. I'm not trying to fight it or be mad about it. I'm just gonna let it happen and trust. And that's the message for the masculine energy in general. How that plays out is a million different ways. But yeah, alright. Let's talk about the DM. Universe just saw the Chariot flip, which of course is the card representing the soulmate cycle according to Steve. And also a card of Cancer, I believe today. Holy Moses. Okay, one thing at a time here. Today there is an aspect of Mercury, which just recently went retrograde in Taurus, has a sextile with Mars in Cancer today. So Cancer and Mars, that's an important energy that's happening and continuing to happen. Flipped itself out of the deck, Judgment again, and King of Pentacles. So that's going to be the whole shuffle, and you can't make this up. Okay, I shuffled. This time I promise I didn't, there was no, oh, I accidentally cut the same way. It's still Nine of Pentacles. Still Nine of Pentacles. This energy is very important, and it came back with Judgment. These are separate from the reading, but it's time to be liberated from something that has been holding us back, from a security blanket type of energy, from the clinging to, and it can be as sort of intangible as just the feeling of control, as the feeling of the ego wanting to know, wanting an answer, wanting an outcome, a solution, wanting to know that for sure. It can just be a surrender over that. But it plays out a bunch of different ways. I shit you not, the deck just split itself, okay? What did it split on? I'll try to get it on camera. The Emperor. Just to reinforce, yeah, this is what's happening. It's very sticky today, actually. I can see the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah. It's time to let go. Also representative of soulmate connections and the balancing of the masculine and feminine aspect, but I feel it most strongly here as it's time to let go of that security blanket and just take the leap. Just go with it. Just pay the bill, pay the ticket, the whatever it is, and feel good about it. Yeah, to just have this communication, because holding it back is not serving us. It's creating more resistance. It's just torturing ourselves at this point. So this separate, I'm going to keep it up top. Rest of the reading here. What is in the mind space and the general energy of the connections at this moment? That's good. That means less thinking. Four of Swords. Trusting intuition, feeling that it would be a good thing to go towards this, that feeling that it would be a good thing to express. That's important. There's a lot of the masculine aspect is the mind. It likes to think. Again, it wants a reason. It wants to have a plan, a strategy. It wants to know the projected outcome of things. There's an understanding, or at least a feeling, that that's not how this works, that it's really about surrendering control, about turning off the brain, and that there's profound healing in that actually feels good and is the way to go about this. I like that in this position. Yeah, surrender. What's in the 3D? General actions, energy there. Queen of Cups comes back. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's feeling it. It's really feeling it, especially with the Four of Swords here. This is all feeling. This is brain turned off. This feels like liberation. Suddenly, it just kind of makes sense at a deeper level to go towards this again. The just shifting of perspective from worrying about a ticket, being angry about it, to, you know what, that's silly. Like, it happened. It's not a big deal. It's not an indictment of me. It's just a thing that happened. And so I take control. I feel better by just going towards it and paying it and shutting down the brain, not thinking about it. It's just automatic flow. That's where the liberation is. I like that a lot. I mean, it's a lot of love. I mean, it's the most love in the tarot. It's, yeah, big time feeling. What's in the soul position? Page of Swords. That's interesting. I'm gonna want to clarify that. It is a bit, there's a little bit of, why haven't I done this sooner? At the soul level, just the realization of this was always an opportunity. Again, I'm just going to keep using this analogy because it's what I got. It's what's coming to me. Of, you know, I could have paid this bill and gotten it just off of my mind sooner. I was capable of doing that, and I kind of just let it lord over me, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm doing it now. There is... It's just a lot of feeling. Drawn to the stars on both of these cards. Kind of a starry-eyed sensation of like, gosh, yeah, it would really feel good. It's almost hypnotizing. It's hypnotic, particularly with the Four of Swords here. Just, this feels good. I'm gonna go towards this. Because suddenly the brain is quiet, which happens when you're hypnotized. As someone who has been hypnotized, very susceptible to it. It's just you stop thinking. You just stop thinking and you allow whatever's happening in the moment, and it actually feels kind of nice. So it is a bit of this like soul level hypnosis of the soul just saying, just go for it. Just express your emotion. You don't need to think about it. You don't need to worry about it. Let it go. Just flow with it. Hidden energy of the universe. The moon. It's true hidden energy. There is something deeper here. Something yet to be revealed. Interesting. That has an interesting feel to it. It's a lot. I kind of get the universe hiding something, which happens. If there's energy you're not supposed to pull on, or not supposed to, if there's, you know, you can only take it so far. There are certain things that are up to divine alignment and timing. And yeah, I get a lot of that here. It is kind of like a dead space. That's interesting. I don't even really feel fear off of it. It's kind of more that hypnotized energy of, yeah, it's just happening. Gonna have to clarify that. Okay, final outcome position. Four of Pentacles, fear. We'll clarify, we'll see. I mean, it is withholding, but we have the Four of Swords in direct relation to this. It feels like this changing. I mean, that's the direction the universe is trying to push things. I don't know. There's always free will. I never know. And we do have the moon next to it, but it's a funny feeling moon. I'm not sure how else to describe it. It's kind of the sense of like if you looked outside and everything was negative like this, or the trees were blue and the sky was green and brown. It's things being reversed somehow. I don't know. Let's clarify. Talk to the mini witches, the little tiny witches, if I can get them loose here. Yeah, well, at the bottom, the Wheel of Fortune, I mean, things turning, things changing. This shifting, and also in a way that is kind of hidden from view, under the surface, but unstoppable. Yeah, just like the floor shifting underneath somebody. What's under that? Yeah, hidden from view, 7 of Swords. It's not what it looks like. There is more here than meets the eye. Strength, crossing that, and the Hanged Man reversed. And there's the moon again. Yeah, wow. Getting the strength to do something, to not just sit there. There's a facing of, there's something about fear changing. The fear itself is changing. The thing that somebody is afraid of is shifting. It's no longer a fear of paying the bill. And like having to go down to the ticket, go down to the station and deal with that. It's like, oh no, I want to do this now. I don't want to miss my opportunity to do this. I want to get this done. You know, they might close at 5 o'clock, and now I want to be there and make sure I get in and do this. It's the moon crossed by the Hermit with 9 of Cups underneath. Look at the parallel imagery of these cards. It's the soul coming out. Just, again, I get that kind of soul hypnosis of, you know, if this lady was afraid and walking in the woods, suddenly this guy popped out and was like, you know what to do. You just follow me. I'll lead you. It's okay. And she's fine with it. There's kind of a Jedi mind trick going on of, these are not the droids you're looking for, but I know where to find them. So just follow me. That's where all the good, and it feels good. There is something else about the greater good here as well, of that divine timing and alignment, and yeah, just things being not quite as they appear. Right, I wanted to see what's on I can't speak now. See what's on top. It's the Queen of Cups again. Yeah, she's thirsty. She's ready to move, itching to move. Okay. Tell me about this 4 of Swords. Why is the 4 of Swords here? It's just very quiet, especially with the moon underneath. Although the moon is definitely separate. It feels separate here. But they are both this kind of quiet, silent, like the calm before the storm kind of energy. But it doesn't look like anything's happening, but it's about to. Yeah, I don't know. Why is the 4 of Swords here? Nope, that's it. Okay, shit. Well, it's still the moon. So I guess it is red with the moon in some aspect. It's just a lot of quiet. Of, yeah, something coming out of the shadows. Something out of nothing. Something from nothing, out of nowhere. It's just a lot of healing taking place under the surface, hidden from view. Again, I keep getting that. What's on top? Queen of Cups again. It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot that's coming up. It's a lot of emotion. Undeniable. It's like rising like a tidal wave, but it is again sort of just like sweeping someone forward while they're in a daze. The feeling of kind of just being adrift at sea, floating at sea, and not fighting it anymore, which is really what you should do, and is the recommendation for if you're like stranded in the ocean or something, you have nothing to cling on to. How do you float? How do you take advantage of your natural buoyancy? You relax. You just relax as much as possible, and you breathe deeply, and you don't fight the current, right? You let it take you anywhere it takes you, and that way you sustain your energy. You don't drown. And you hopefully just wash up on shore somewhere. Eventually you will get caught in some other current that takes you someplace else. It's a feeling of just letting go and being caught in that current and allowing it to happen. Let's start with the Queen of Cups. Why is the Queen of Cups here? Ace of Wands. Yeah. Letting the match stay lit. Finally not snuffing out the passion or the potential of some new beginning, but just going, okay, we'll just see what happens. Again, not fighting your own energy, not resisting, having the impulse to pay the bill, and instead of feeling all tangled up and anxious about it, going, yeah, okay, let's do it. I got the impulse now. Let's move with the impulse. Now my energy is lined up. I want to do it. Not paying it, just resistance, just doesn't feel good. Let's flow with it instead. And yeah, that's interesting. Especially with that moon underneath. I want to see what's fueling the moon. Yeah, it's a change of perspective on this, where once we were fighting ourselves and fighting this emotion and trying to keep it beneath the surface, now the brain is shut off and all the emotions just coming up. And it's just like letting it happen. It's letting this flow. Interesting. Okay. Why is the Queen of Cups here in the 3D position? Oh gosh. Cards are just extra. Read all about it today. They got something to say. Why is the Queen of Cups here? Nope, that's it. Okay, come on. I know I didn't... Maybe I should have shuffled more, but no, it's just the moon again. It's... yeah, wow. It's a lot. I mean, the moon was crossing and essentially clarified by the Queen of Cups. Now we have the Queen of Cups crossed by the moon. I can't get away from this moon. It's that weird, dreamy, hypnotic energy. It's just like hypnotized by this feeling. There's a song lyric in there somewhere, but I don't have it. What's on top? Six of Wands. Yeah, it's just the heart is open. It's just feeling it and suddenly going, oh my god, it feels good to feel. It feels good to feel this. And maybe I can't even think. I'm just sort of drawn towards the expression of this feeling. That's right with the Six of Wands. Yeah, it's hypnotizing. The Magician. It just feels... I don't know how else to put it. It is beyond making sense. It's not even such a logical thing. It's an emotional thing. But it is just that the emotions make sense. That it's like it's all clicking because the brain is shut down. Suddenly it makes sense emotionally that I would go have this communication, that I would go pay this bill, this ticket, whatever. Like, oh yeah, that's obviously the thing to do. And in fact, I'm not even thinking about it. I just suddenly found myself there. It's sort of that feeling of if you're driving somewhere. Driving is very hypnotic. It's why we often end up at locations we weren't particularly expecting to go to. That's happened to me before. And it is that feeling of just being led and kind of floating along with it because it feels good. It feels good to let this flow, to not think about it. It is a sudden change also. The feeling of someone kind of just showing up. They might not even know why they're there or how they got there. They just show up because it felt good, because it seemed like the thing to do. I don't know. It just felt right to come knock on your door. I don't know. It's very interesting. Okay. All right. Wow, so I did shuffle. I was curious what was under the moon this time. It's a different card. It's the Nine of Wands. Yeah, it's all coming out. It's all coming up. It's all coming back to me now. I just got that one, that song. And underneath that was the Knight of Cups. Yeah, it is the feeling of someone, just the wall has sort of been dissolved. It's been taken down. And without somebody even really realizing it and just going, oh yeah, that does feel good. That it feels nice. And maybe I'll just sort of wander over and communicate this. It's a very sleepy kind of energy, but I don't know, it's pleasant. I'll say again, as one who has experienced hypnosis, it's not all that different from reaching a particular state in meditation, where you are altered and sort of removed from yourself and you're just floating and not really attached to anything. You don't have really any care or worry. You just are. It's a nice feeling. Why is the Page of Swords here? Tell me about this Page of Swords. This is interesting to me. Why the Page of Swords? Oh, shit. Okay, I got cards jumping out here. Four of Wands crossing. It just feels right. It's a... where once... I almost want to say... where once I was lost, I now am found. It's where once I felt very small, I now feel capable of this, under this energy of not really thinking about it. And that is the way to do it, of, you know, just stop thinking. What's on top... well, actually, what fell out is Temperance and the Seven of Cups. Yeah, it is sort of an... not quite artificial, but almost removal of confusion. Again, because the brain is shut down. The brain is the only thing that creates confusion. When you stop thinking and you just allow and are flowing with the emotion, there's no questioning of things. It's just, yeah, it is what it is. I'm just following the feeling. Just going along towards it. It makes sense, again, to communicate. There is suddenly just an understanding of, yeah, where at one time it was hard to choose between all of these cups, suddenly the rest of them are just fading from view, and there's only the one with the rainbow. Only that one. That's the one that's still there. So it's just an obvious choice of like, well, yeah, okay, that's the cup. Let's go towards that one. It's the one that's here. There's something else red with those two. Temperance and the Seven of Cups. Why is that here? Yeah, Nine of Wands. Again, it's all of those other cups were just removed. Again, almost artificially, but it's the effect of the energy. Where once there was all this confusion, there was overthinking, there was overanalyzing, there was, I don't know, what do I do? Do I go towards this? How do I approach it? It's just suddenly this wall is dissolved, and there's only the sun behind us, and it's that feeling of, that feels good. Let me just wander towards that. That's the one that feels good. not really even thinking about considering contemplating anything else. Interesting. Yeah, okay. The moon in the hidden energy position. What the hell are you talking about, universe? Why is the moon here? What is this hidden from view, hypnotic, sleepy kind of energy? It's interesting. It's just, I don't know, just getting a guy doing a magic trick, kind of. But it's the universe doing a magic trick, kind of pulling a rabbit from a hat, of just suddenly, ta-da, there it is, out of nowhere, what you least expected. What is this moon about? The Fool. Yeah, out of nowhere. It's 0 point energy. It's universe energy. It's pure potentiality. It's like the universe reaching into the field of potential and pulling this one out and going, ta-da! You didn't think it would be this one, did you? And then this is your card. And it's a lot of new. It's a profound new beginning. What's on top? Four of Wands comes back. It's a new everything. It's a new path, a new phase of the journey, a new phase of the transition. It's, yeah, everything. What is that? Again, kind of hypnotically walking away from this energy that had been kind of stuck, that we had been stuck to. Because the brain is turned off again and we're just following and flowing with the emotion, it suddenly just makes sense at an emotional level to go towards something else that feels good. What's right with the Four of Wands? Five of Cups. Yeah, it just makes sense to leave this behind. No more putting out our own fuse, no more sitting in our own disarray and disappointment. Again, it's reclaiming the power of going, hey, you know what would feel good if I just did this thing? That actually would feel good. I can feel that now, and so I'm empowered to just do it instead of arguing about it or beating myself up about it. I feel the good sense of doing this. I feel the impulse for it. That feels good. It makes sense to me emotionally to follow that good feeling and to liberate myself from this sort of trap that I had laid and been rolling around in, and I don't even need to beat myself up for it. That's gone too. I can just stop this at any moment and walk towards something else. What's under that Fool? It's the moon again. I cannot get rid of this card. It's just, yeah, dreamy. Again, like the universe is shifting perspective. The universe just changed the tint a little bit, and suddenly those three cups kind of just fade from view. And once they've faded just enough, just a little bit for the attention on them to be released, as soon as that happens, we notice the two cups still standing and go, oh yeah, those are there. I could just go towards that. That feels good. Okay. Final outcome position, this Four of Pentacles. There's something about connection here, but I'm not going to rule out the fear energy. That's still around. But it's like it's diluted, kind of. We don't have a devil here. In fact, we have angel energy in more than one place. Why the Four of Pentacles? What's up with that? And suddenly I can't even hold the cards. Four of Pentacles. Yeah. Three of Cups. Something that's been preventing this open flow being just, again, kind of diluted. And once it's been diluted, this happens more easily. It's like adding a few drops of dish soap to something, or some other lubricant. The effect of the energy surrounding us right now is sort of a lubricant for free flow of emotion and following that energy, releasing a lot of stagnant energy as well. What is on top? It's communication as well. Nine of Cups, yeah. It just makes sense at the emotional level to do this. To let this happen, to release the resistance to it. What is this? I can't say. That's different for everybody. I'm pulling generally on the masculine aspect within and without at the collective level. Communication is strongly aspected. Very likely communication to things on their side. Very likely to be communication to other things as well. There just seems to be a kind of, again, hypnotic draw towards this of, and the same way that someone who is under hypnosis just kind of spills because you have no inhibitions about it. That's what this is. It's just sort of a suddenly, yeah, I can suddenly express my emotions freely because the brain is just being shut down and I'm not thinking about it. It's like being hypnotized into it. Let's start with the Nine of Cups. Seven of Swords. Okay. How do I feel that? It's like sneaking back in. It's the slippery energy. It's that slipperiness. I don't read it as bullshit, really. But it is kind of there's a trick. And I don't mean that there's something deceptive about the communication, like someone is trying to be tricky with it. There's a sleight of hand feeling. Again, it almost feels like the universe itself pulling a trick. That, this is, and nothing up my sleeves, but there's the quarter. Like being tricking the ego into wanting to communicate, into just wanting to resolve this karma by letting the energy flowing away from it. Again, releasing the stagnant energy just by sort of loosening it up, and then it can't really stick. It just is broken loose. I want one more. Why the Seven of Swords? Yeah, because the soul is guiding, because it just makes sense. It seems practical to do this. And there is more than meets the eye. I don't know quite what that means, but that's just what I'm getting. What's fueling the Three of Cups? Yeah, Six of Pentacles. There's a desire to give to something new and to express freely without fear, without withholding. Yeah, Queen of Swords, Ten of Cups. There's just a clarity of emotion, and that is aspected, I feel, from Mercury's sextile with Mars in Cancer. It's this emotional clarity that is removed from the thinking process. Interesting. I want one more with the Hermit. Seven of Wands. Yeah, where it looks like there's nothing happening, where it looks like there's a holdup, there's not. It's actually flowing. It's actually all happening. It's all breaking loose, whether or not it appears that way on the surface. And when it does as it's breaking loose, as this sort of slippery energy is working its way through, it's creating the effect of a dam breaking, where suddenly this clog is just gonna pop loose because everything behind it has been loosened. And everything behind it's been loosened because it's angel energy, it's the soul in charge, it's the brain being shut down. Yeah. And as I return to this deck to get a final message from the universe, I'm going to pick it up exactly as it was. Oh, trying not to move it. There's justice underneath the 9 pentacles. There's 9 cups trying to peek out from there. Got 6 of wands, and at the top is the 2 of pentacles. It's a resolution energy. It's a... yeah, just hypnotized by this 9 of cups, and suddenly, again, suddenly the choice is clear. Suddenly all the confusion is removed. Suddenly there's only one pentacle here. And it's, oh, well, I guess I just go with that because that's what's here. That makes sense. That's the choice. I don't know. Interesting. Okay, final message from the universe on this. I could have used a fresh deck, but no. Well, no. Okay, it's insisting, actually. I don't usually do this, and now I have to move the camera and get another deck out, so pardon me. So I didn't even set it. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Fresh deck for this final message from the universe, which has the 9 of wands at the bottom. It's all fallen apart. It's becoming very clear. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I'm hearing that. Yeah, there's that Ace of Pentacles, 9 of Swords, 10 of Cups, 6 of Swords. It just suddenly, it makes sense that I've been keeping myself stuck and tortured by not taking this action. So I just take this action. That makes sense. Final message from the universe, whatever you want to say, Spirit. Summary, advice, I do not care. 606 right now. Okay, we're shuffling for this one. We're gonna make sure we do it right here. Okay. Final message from the universe. Yeah, it's resolution and it's communication. Justice. I don't know what else to say about that. What's on top? Ace of Pentacles comes back. Something that's been a long time coming, that's been held up or held on to. It's a loosening. What's red with justice? 2 of Cups. That is a soul connection. That's a soulmate contract. That it's being called in one way or another. It's time for this. It's the verdict is in. The jury is in. We're about to deliver the verdict. This is the verdict. It took a lot of deliberation. It was a long time. You know, this trial took months and months and months, but it's done. It's time now. What's red with the Ace of Pentacles? The Chariot. Card of the soulmate cycle and Cancer energy. It's this emotional clarity happening right now, where just suddenly this makes sense. Suddenly moving towards this, moving away from the other and moving towards this. It makes sense. It feels like justice. It's just very logical and obvious and clear. And it is faster than it appears on the surface. This is one of the fastest moving energies, and Ace of Pentacles is the slowest moving energy. It's faster than it looks. It seemed like, you know, the jury was going to be out forever, And suddenly they came back in, and that was it. 2 minutes later, the verdict was delivered, the court was cleared out, and it was all over. It's a sudden release. It is that blockage breaking free. And it's communication some way or another. I'm not gonna be the person who goes, oh yeah, your person's definitely coming in to talk to you. No, that's not how this works. It's not. But communication is a desire. I will say that. It's becoming clear that the same way putting off paying something ultimately just doesn't feel good, and then suddenly it makes sense that you would just do that, and actually that feels good, to take that power, that control, to make that decision, and then I'm free. I have freed myself from that burden by just doing it, kind of getting it over with. Suddenly it makes sense to do this. It makes a lot of sense. What's under justice? Because I'm curious. There's the divine timing coming back. And it is more than meets the eye. Again, it's a little bit of just wait for it energy. That, yeah, there's nothing you can do. When the jury is out, when the jury is deliberating, that's just what it is. But they're coming back in. You can trust the jury's not just gonna stay out forever. They are coming back, and it's getting to be time for them to come back in, and it's gonna just happen like that. More than meets the eye, trusting the timing of this. There is much to be harvested at once. The fact there are multiple verdicts being returned, that's a part of why the jury took so long, because they had to decide on all these different counts how they were going to plea, and now they've got all of them, and so all of them are about to be read. The entire thing is about to be signed, sealed, delivered, gavel hammered, all of that, whatever. That's what I got. I don't know, I just deliver the message that the universe drops in front of me, and it resonates with me to speak it this way, so that feels good. I do intend this resonates with you. I would love to know one way or another. Leave me a comment, like, subscribe, whatever you feel good about. Do something that feels good to you today, whatever it is, and try not to think about it too much. Just let yourself, if it's, go down the street and get a slushie from the 7-Eleven, then do that. If it's take a walk outside, if it's spend an extra 10 minutes just sitting looking at the sun, do what feels good to you. I encourage that wholly. That is the reading. I hope you enjoyed. Have a fabulous evening, collective, and know that always in every vector of time and space, I absolutely adore you.